Right, we're good. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all the praise and the honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rafa Kudash. Okay, I want to give double honors unto the apostles and also the Muslim that rule well, and peace and mercy and salutations to you Akim that are doing the work of Yahweh. Shalom to you sisters that are listening and learning. All right. Now, we want to talk about, spiritual powers today, because like I just recently did a video on the topic of spiritual powers and speaking on how that, with all the, with pretty much all the hell and the evil that's approaching, okay, the exact same things that happened in the book of Acts, okay, to the apostles is the exact same things, that are going to happen unto the elect men, while everyone is still asleep, okay, people are proud. The Lord is going to show his powers through the elect men, okay, the 144,000 to be, on point, right? And the Lord is going to use them to show, his powers, which will eventually wake up some of the Israelites who still don't believe, because Yahweh said, blessed are you, that have not seen but yet believe, okay? But because there is a wicked generation that always seek for a sign, man, And so, if you want to get the book of Isaiah chapter 40 and start from verse 15,
okay,
and I'm going to grab more, I'm a precepts, but, from there on, we're just going to go with the spirit, because, sometimes, like, you have a topic that you want to talk on, but the Lord will take you on a different direction, but, that's where we're going to begin.
So Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
That's right, so the Lord, Yahweh is saying that the nations are as a drop of a bucket, talking about these heathen nations, man. So he doesn't really care about them, man, okay?
It says, and are counted as a small dust of the balance.
That's right, so they hold no weight, They hold no weight, they're just a small dust of the balance, okay? If just, a small drop falls, it's not really going to make a difference. And that's how the Lord looks at these nations, right?
Right. It says, behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
That's right.
And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
That's right.
All nations before him are as nothing.
That's right. All nations before him are as nothing, man. And it just means that, you don't have to, there's no deep search and and in understanding in that, man. It tells you in the book of Ezra, man, that the Lord made the world for our sakes, man, and how that the Lord, Shai, he created Adam and Eve, okay, and the people also whom thou hast chosen, man.
Actually, that's the spirit. I got that book.
Right? Come.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after this, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures,
right.
Of him come we all,
That's
and
right.
the people also whom thou hast chosen.
That's right, man. All of our line goes back to Adam, but the Lord made a separation. Though we all come of Adam, it does not mean that we're all from the same bloodline, because the Lord made a separation, And, with Jacob and, I'm a Jacob and Esau, that's, that was where the biggest separation happened, man.
That's right.
In the history of mankind. Hence why, like we always say that the so-called white man, the Caucasian, so-called, because not every single one of them is, not every single one of them is an Edomite, but when you look at, the vast majority, we don't get along, man, because there is actually a spiritual, there was like, exactly, the Lord divided the nations, man, okay?
That's right. And it says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
That's right, the Lord made the world for our sakes, man. Everything from this earth is actually ours. Though these heathens, okay, have ruled, okay, from different generations and so on and on, okay, the Lord put us at the bottom so that we can learn our lesson. But in actuality, in reality, everything is going to come back right to us, man, because it's actually truly ours, man, given from the Lord Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. And also, man, like you can tell that the Most High favors Israel above all nations, because not only did he make Israel a holy nation by separating them from all the other nations, but he also, on top of that, gave the whole world to Israel
Yeah.
too.
Literally, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And there's more that the Lord, has made that He will reveal to the nation of Israel, man.
That's
Okay,
right.
the different galaxies out there, man.
That's right.
The Lord has created those things for ours, for us as well.
Verse 56. As for the other people which also come from Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
That's right. It's the same thing that says in the book of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15 and down, man.
Yeah.
That they're nothing.
That's right.
That they're nothing.
But be like unto spittle,
That's right. That's right.
and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
That's right. The abundance of them is just like a drop that falls from a vessel. You don't look back at it. Okay? Or when you take a dump, you don't look at it and then flush it. You just fucking turn away and flush that shit, man. You don't care about it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Right? And then if you want to go back to Isaiah, and now jump to verse 28. Okay?
Okay.
Isaiah 40, verse 28.
Fine. Isaiah 40, verse 28.
Yeah.
Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard,
That's right.
that the everlasting power, the Lord Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not,
That's right.
neither is weary.
That's right. Okay, so the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, He fainteth not, man. Okay, neither is He weary. Okay, so the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is all power. Okay, He has an abundance of power that a lot of these nations don't know, man.
Hey, what religion are you guys from?
What's that?
Are you guys the black Israelites?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Yeah, it's Hebrew
Israelites.
Oh,
Although,
We are the Hebrew Israelites.
sorry.
There's no
Yeah.
such thing as black Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
right. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it.
Interesting.
There's a lot of imposters that you'll hear say the same thing we say, but they're of a different mindset when it comes to understanding the Bible.
I see.
And that's where that black Hebrew Israelite comes from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much it's a label, that they're trying to push on us to pretty much, I'm to take away, from the truth of the Bible, because not every single one of these nations are black,
I
There's,
see.
the so-called, Gadite, or so like, the Gadite are the Native Americans. They're not black, but they're from the nation of Israel, so we're not just all black people,
Gotcha. Sorry about that. Yeah.
It's all good.
I don't know much about you guys' congregation.
It's all good.
Interesting.
That's right.
How big is the community here in Regina?
It's just us two.
Just you guys? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Saskatchewan is just us two.
That's
I
right.
see.
That's right.
But
And
we got men all over the world in different countries and cities and within those countries preaching the same thing.
I see. Nice. That's great. Good luck with the class.
all right.
Okay, I'll read that again real quick. Isaiah 40 and 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power of the Lord Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding.
That's right. There is no searching of the Lord's understanding, man. And when you read in the book of in the Apocrypha, okay, it talks about how pretty much that if you try to seek the understanding of the Lord, you'll think upon vain things, because He's way out there, man. In the book of Jeremiah, I believe it says that the Lord's thoughts are not your thoughts, for the heavens are higher than the earth, therefore His ways are higher than your ways, man. Okay, so there's no searching of the Lord's understanding, man. He's way out there.
Yeah, you're best off, sticking with what's given to you
Yeah.
by the apostles, because that's who the Lord has used to basically weigh out the knowledge of His understanding to every brother. Because there's certain things that the apostles won't tell brothers because they'll bug out, because the spirit's not strong enough to take it,
Yeah.
But that's a big reason as to why a lot of men have fell out of the truth, because they try to seek out more than they were given, and more than they can handle,
Yeah.
which comes from pride.
That's right.
You go on that?
Yeah.
fine.
Continue to finish that.
So verse 29, it says, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might He increases strength.
That's right. So the Lord, He gives power, okay, to the faints, man. and to them that have no might, he increases strength. Right now, we are the faint. Right, the scripture talks about in the book of Daniel how that Esau has worn out the saints. So right now we're tired, man. We're broken down physically, okay, but our inward man is being renewed daily. Which then, when we receive that spiritual powers, because we're not gonna receive that spiritual powers in these wicked bodies, man.
That's right.
You know. So the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to give us, the Lord is going to give us the full, I should say, of those powers when we're, when we are in our,
Heavenly bodies.
exactly, when we are in our heavenly bodies,
That's
okay?
right. And it says, verse 30, even the youth shall faint. Second. Verse 30, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai shall renew their strength.
That's right.
They shall mount up with wings as eagles.
That's right. So it says, but they that wait upon the Lord is going to renew their strength, man. Okay? And this is like, one thing, that I also talked about was that I remember getting a vision, and I was in the midst of all hell and chaos, and pretty much the Lord delivered me out of that situation by giving me power. And when I received that power, I knew what to do with it right away. It wasn't something that I had to learn. And so, automatically right away, I knew how to manipulate the elements and how to fly, etc., because the Lord just renewed the strength. He didn't give me something that's new.
Something's already in there.
It was something that was pretty much almost, already in there, and He just renewed it.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen with the elect men, man. The Lord's going to give them back what is actually theirs from the beginning. It's just been such a long time that the Lord, did not give it back to us. So therefore, for some people, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, 100%. That's why in Jude, in the book of Jude, it references the bodies that we have right now as chains of everlasting darkness.
Yeah.
What did chains do? Chains hold back.
Yeah.
They wait. They restrain what is to be. And like the brother was saying, when he had that dream, he instantly knew what to do with the powers that were given to him because they were already within him. Right? That's something that's natural to us. But because we're in these bodies, they hold us back from producing those spiritual powers. Hence why we can't have these bodies and have spiritual powers at the same time. So it says, verse 31. They shall wait upon but they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles.
That's right, being able to fly.
That's right.
And eagles can see from far, so we're gonna have that perfect vision, man. Being able to see from distance, man. Can you imagine?
1,000, 1,000, man. 1,000,
100.
Yeah, 100 vision.
That's right.
As eagles,
What are you guys doing over here?
preaching about the Bible, truth about the Bible.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it says, they shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not be faint.
That's right. So we're gonna have an abundance of energy, man.
Yeah. Just like you see in the movies.
Superman.
Superman, Hancock.
Yeah.
And Hancock was probably one of the most accurate because it was actually a Jake playing the role of having spiritual powers.
Yeah.
But Esau put a little twist in that and made it the so-called white woman, Edomite woman, be his weakness. Which shows you, man, in a deep sense, not to go off topic, but in a deep sense, these women these women that we have today right now in this kingdom are a stumbling block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy had all the power, and the moment he got near his woman, he became a mortal man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he became so easy. Like, the guys in the alley were punching him. This guy went from smacking a bullet left-handed,
Knocking people in prison.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To getting beat up in the alley by some street thug.
Yeah.
All because he's with a woman, man.
Yeah.
It's the same. That's a good analogy for this truth. When you're this right now, it's the first state, it's the first taste of our spiritual powers.
Yeah.
It's wisdom and understanding.
Yeah.
But when you're with a woman more than you're with this woman,
Yeah.
that stuff starts to leave you, become weak. All of a sudden you start having wicked thoughts about things you never thought before when you weren't with this woman.
Yeah. Give not that strength unto a
To
woman.
a woman, man. Give not that strength out to a woman. That means stop giving your attention so much to a woman.
Yeah, because then you become weak. Hence
Become
why,
weak, yeah.
in the scriptures, right before our men went out to war, and they had, and they were about to have a great battle. Okay, they were ordered not to be with their woman for 3 days.
Yeah,
Because when you're with a woman, you're cuddling and you're
not in
you
that
get
mind state
soft,
of war. You get soft.
right? You
Yeah.
get soft, man. Mentally, you get soft, and like, hence why, like when you marry a woman, right? You're supposed to be with her for at least a year before you go out to war.
Yeah,
And
man.
so there's rules,
Yeah, man.
that you have to go by, and it goes to show you that when a man and a woman get together, okay, there's a connection, and the woman naturally is soft, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
she's
how she's
emotional, right? She's, just like the scripture says, she's the weaker vessel.
Yes.
And so,
Sensitive.
sensitive, exactly.
Yeah.
And so you become weaker because you wanna, pretty much, you want to cater to her, man.
Yeah, that's your woman. This is how that works.
Yeah.
Just like your children, man. Like that's why in a lot of these movies, a lot of the villains that go after the hero, what do they go after? The woman or the children?
Yeah.
Because that's the weak spot of a man.
Oh man, exactly.
So you
like
can't
it-
get around it.
Like it showed you in that show, The Connolly, right?
Yeah,
And like I forget what the guy's name was, but the main character,
Yeah.
the male, he pretty much, he did everything properly, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't want to give up, his secrets, just to say, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as they threatened to kill his children, okay, he spilled out all the beans, man. I said,
real
fuck it.
quick, yeah. Real quick, man.
Right?
Real
He
quick.
said, yo, man, he said effort, bro.
Yeah.
And so he spilled out the beans. Why? Because that's the weaker spot of a man. It's
right.
his children and his woman.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
right.
Yeah, that was it on that.
Khan, do you want to read the book of St. John, chapter 14, and start from verse 12?
In St. John chapter 14, verse 12, and it says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also.
That's right. So the works that the Lord Yahweh did, right? That will we do also. Lord willing that we are the elect. And now, let's go over the works. The Lord Yahweh, okay, he turned water into wine. He was able to manipulate those elements, man.
Right.
Okay? And then guess what? He healed the blind.
Healed the
Okay?
blind.
He healed the sick. He rose the dead.
Yeah.
He was able to bring back a spirit of an individual, okay, that left the body. He was able to bring him back. He had that power.
Yeah.
So if the Lord said that we're going to do greater, God damn, right?
Let your imagination
Right?
run wild
Exactly,
with that.
exactly.
Absolutely, because he even had the ability to multiply things.
Yeah,
Because the food, there
yeah.
was only enough for one.
Yeah.
And he fed how much? 100?
Yeah, and then there was leftovers.
Yo,
He had what? I'm a 5.
Duplication.
I'm a bread and 2
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah.
Right, I think,
Yeah,
roughly
yeah.
paraphrasing, and he was able to multiply it, and a lot of thousands of people ate, and there was leftovers, man.
It's crazy.
And
That-
so, yes, like go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say that, and the scriptures on top of that, the scriptures also say that there's many things, many works that he's done that that the book wasn't able to hold.
Yeah.
So that's another reason. That's another example to tell you that, man, whatever your mind can conceive, when we're in these heavenly bodies, whatever our minds can conceive, we will do. Which can go a long ways, man.
St. John chapter 20, verse 30. And many other signs truly did Yahweh in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book.
So even only the disciples saw it, eh?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that was the main part of it, is believing.
Yeah.
Believing in Yahweh, being able to do these things, man. Right? It says right here, verse 29, the verse above. Yahweh said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they which have not seen and yet have believed.
Yeah, man. That's right, man. That's why. See, that shows you, man. Faith is the engine of spiritual powers, man.
Yeah.
You can't, like, yo, a good example of that in Smallville, which is the Superman show, because, and Clark, being this all-powerful being, he was afraid of heights. So for the longest time, I think it took like 2-3 seasons for him to actually learn how to fly, even though the abilities to fly were already within him.
Was already there, right?
It's because he didn't have faith.
Yeah.
He didn't have faith. Every time he got up, so everything he would do, he would just sprint
Yeah.
to get somewhere, even though he could run fast.
Yeah.
But it came to a point where he had to actually learn how to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either that it was that situation with, I don't forgot what apostle it was, but when he was on water, and the moment he took his eyes off of Yahushua, he started drowning.
Yeah, that's exactly what like what I was gonna bring up.
Okay,
I believe it was, I'm a Peter.
Yeah,
you know?
Peter, yeah.
And when he saw Yahushua walk on the water, he was like, damn, I want to do that, and so he started doing it.
Yeah.
But as soon as he looked down and he started doubting, that's when he started drowning.
100%.
But it goes to show you that there was a point when he believed and he was doing it.
Khan.
Right?
Yeah, Khan. It
Right?
shows you that
Yeah.
if you can believe, and not just you believe,
Yeah.
but you can believe consistently,
Yeah.
you will renew your strength.
Yeah.
Because a part of endurance is being able to work tirelessly and see some kind of level of results, and that keeps you enduring.
Exactly.
You know, so if you're constantly going through hell, but you stay steadfastly within your faith, that's going to continue. That's going to keep you to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. One day, most time, you might be dealing with less money, not having enough money, and you might be behind on all your bills. The next week, you just come into a couple $100, or you might see a chariot. You know, stuff that will renew your strength because you've been staying faithful.
Exactly, and that's pretty much all it takes.
Yeah.
Is for you to believe, because the Lord works in His ways, man.
Yeah, you have to follow Him.
And a lot of people want to do their own thing, but that's not so, man. With the Lord Yahweh Shemashai,
That's right. Keep going.
Yeah.
So
go
it says,
ahead.
verily, St. John chapter 14, verse 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do.
That's right. Greater works than these, man. Okay, and so it goes to show you that even when Yahweh Shai was in the earth, okay, he did not use all of his powers because right? Because that wasn't the time, right? So if Yahweh Shai said that we're gonna do greater works than he did, what level is he gonna be then? You know what I mean? So it goes to show you, man, that there's more. There's more, man. The Lord is out there. Like, the scripture says that the Lord's, right? The scripture says that the Lord's heritage is like a speckled bird. So there, which goes to show you that variety is with the Lord, man.
Yeah.
So the Lord is not just, one thing and that's it, right?
Yeah,
The Lord likes variety. Just like Jake, Jake likes all different type of women.
Yeah.
Jake likes variety.
Yeah.
If we had it our way, it would be that, which is going to be in the kingdom. But right now, because we're in hell, we gotta be with one woman or two women. That's it.
We gotta be less flavorful.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we're in Esau's kingdom, and Esau is less flavorful. That's why Scripture said that we are the salt of the earth, man.
That's
we're
right.
flavored.
That's right. And then it says, because I go unto my Father, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name.
Yeah, in the name of who? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
Not Jesus Christ, man.
Jehovah, Yahweh, none of that.
Jehovah Jireh.
Yeah.
Haile Selassie, or what the fuck.
Yo, there's some new names. I swear, some of these names that I've heard, they just got created last year. There's no way, I didn't hear this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it says, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son.
That's right, that the Father may be glorified in the Son, which goes to show you that there's a connection, man. When Yahweh Shai gets glorified, the Lord Yahweh, okay, by default, he gets glorified, okay? When we get glorified, Yahweh Shai gets glorified, man. That's how it works. It's the same thing like when you have a child, right? You have a son, and he becomes the best athlete, okay, in that city or in that country, right? He's the best basketball player. You as a father, you feel good about that, man. You're like, yo, that's my seed, right? You,
100%.
right? Like you actually get pumped to see your son play, okay, to see your son do this and do,
Yeah,
you know,
bragging rights.
yeah, exactly, man. You know, it's actually within you because that's your seed.
Yeah.
You know,
It says, if ye shall ask anything
anything.
in my name,
Yeah.
I will do it.
That's right, anything, okay, in righteousness, because that's how our minds are going to be. It's going to be programmed to think righteously, to do everything righteously, according to the law of Yahweh Shema Shai. Though it might, which means balance, right? Though it might seem something that's harsh, or whatever it is, it's still according to the balance of the Lord. Therefore, it's righteous, man.
Yeah.
Okay? So anything that we ask in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, He's going to do.
That's right. And it says, if ye love me, keep my commandments.
That's right. If you love the Lord, keep His commandments. Simple.
Right, man. And
Simple.
you know what, man? Women have the biggest mouth when it comes to showing love through action. So that goes to show you that, love is more of an action-based thing than a verbal thing. Because especially in this day and age, Jake, there's a lot of Israelites that go around saying that they love the Most High, we serve the Most High, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord. Not only are they calling upon the wrong name, but in their minds, they're not actually sincere, man. They're not serious. Because when they come into the slightest bit of hell, they forget about the Lord. And they think about themselves.
Yeah.
So how much more when Jacob's trouble really comes upon them, man?
Exactly, man. Got a scripture. I believe the 1,000 on that
Okay,
one,
come on.
that I wanted you to read.
Come on.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, chapter 2, I'll start from verse 4, and you can break this down too,
Yeah,
man.
come on.
It says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality.
Con, what verse is that actually?
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 6, verse 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality.
That's right, man. And that's why, beginning with the apostles and the elders and brothers on down to us, this truth has been pushed for so many years, man, and strong. Because even though, we be out here in the rain, in the winter, and we're freezing, or when we're out here, there was a time where there was like when you're watching videos, it seemed like there was always some kind of fight going on, man, within the camp. Other people trying to start fights with brothers who are in the truth. So no matter what kind of adversity we've come against, our hope is immortality, man.
That's right, that's the end goal.
That's the end goal.
Yeah.
Because really, in the end of the day, man, these people don't understand that. See, you people think it's a joke. Those of you that are not sincere about this, you think it's a joke because you don't understand that. As a scoffer, I talk about this to myself, man. If just for sake of conversation, if I was a scoffer, it would make no sense to scoff at men that talk about dying every day. They talk about dying every single day. So what do you think your words like? You got Hakim, like for instance, no one's listening to you guys. Why do you guys keep going?
You think that's...
This man just talk about losing his life
Yeah.
and not caring about what his family thinks. You think that's gonna affect what's going on?
Yeah.
Our hope is immortality, man. You can hurt our feelings, so to speak. Hey, like I said, you can cut us down. Esau will be doing that to some of us, man. He physically will be cutting us down, taking our lives in the worst ways possible too, man.
Yeah.
And we don't know what brother's gonna get caught up in that, but we do all have hope and sincere hope that no matter what happens physically, spiritually, we're going on forever, man. Immortality.
That's right. Like, in other words, whatever happens to us, it's not going to stop the grind, man.
Exactly. It's not gonna stop the it's not gonna stop the grind.
It's not gonna stop the grind. It's like, pretty much like when you take an L,
Yeah.
during a game or whatever. You don't like you don't just quit the next day like fuck it, I'm done.
I'm
done.
retired.
I
That's
can't
what
do
some of
this
these
no
Jakes
more.
do, man. Some of
You know
these
what I mean?
guys come out here, deal with some kind of adversity,
and that's it.
Yeah. They're done. They're not coming out here. They're
Yeah.
retired.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not gonna be yes because we've already given our lives, man. Like as soon as we started coming out here and speaking against the white man, okay, we're already a target, and that's just the fact of it, man. And so whatever Esau does with us, that's what the scripture says that we present our body as a living sacrifice. And so when we do that, that means that guess what? The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, not that he wasn't in control. Now you understand that if anything happens to you, it's all according to the will of Yahweh Hashem El
Now
Shai.
you're aware of his
Yeah,
control. Really,
exactly.
that's what it comes down to.
Exactly. You know, and so when we, and so when we come out here, we literally present our bodies as a living sacrifice. That if anything happens to us, it happens to us. Because what do? We just come out here and we speak the words of the Lord. We don't have any weapons.
Yeah, man, we got
Nothing.
nothing to protect us but our own two fists.
Not even a toothpick. You know, that's it. You know.
Yeah, anybody can come out here and blow us away. And hey, that's it. We died in the truth.
But though they be punished in the sight of men.
That's right. That's
Right?
right.
And it says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded.
Man, a little chastised.
Yeah.
That's a very, man, it's a very interesting thought to take in, that the Most High, no matter what happens to you, in the Most High's eyes,
It's little.
it's little, man. Like you could lose a leg.
Yeah.
You could have been out here. I remember years ago when we were out here.
Yeah, and we
on the other side, we got in that fight,
Yeah.
and you guys had to get stitches.
Yeah.
That was next to nothing to the
Yeah.
Most High.
Exactly. Like I was happy, that happened.
Yeah, Khan. We went out the next week.
Yeah, right away.
You know, meds were good.
In the same spot.
Khan, same spot.
Yeah.
So like if the Most High is thinking what you're going through is a little, and he's the one that you're doing this under, well, you ought to have faith, man. If the Most High has faith in what you're going through, you ought to have faith in Him. Because the scriptures say, if the Most High be with us, who can be against us?
Yeah.
And what can be against us as well, man?
Yeah.
No spiritual thing can come up against us. No physical thing can come up against us. So it's just that simple.
Exactly, because the Lord is in control of everything. Everything is in His hands. So what can you really be afraid of when
Yeah,
He said
man.
that He got your back?
Yeah, you gotta think about those things, man. Because even the story of Job, the Most High had Job's back the whole time.
Yeah.
He tests Job physically and even spiritually, man.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the scriptures say that the Most High is able Saki, roughly paraphrasing, is able to save thee out of temptation. And He doesn't give anything that's too much for you.
Yeah.
The point is to remember these scriptures when you're going through it.
Exactly.
It's like your own little cheat code. You know when in school you used to actually cheat? You used to make a paper, hide it behind your sleeve and be like, yo, A, okay, B, answer one.
Yeah.
This is our cheat code, man, for when we going through it.
Yeah, and another part of that, right? Like when you're making those cheat codes, right? You're actually already studying,
Yeah,
and so what? It actually becomes a part of you,
Yeah, 100%.
It's gonna come to a point where you won't even need those cheat codes anymore because now it's actually in you.
Yeah, it's in your
You know what I
mind.
mean? It's the same thing with the movie, The Book of Eli. Right?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole time, he wanted to hold that book with him. But
Yeah.
when he lost that book, he realized that everything was already in